Hello, in this video I will show you how to convert a fraction to a percentage or convert a percentage to a fraction. So this skill is first learnt in year 7, so let's check it out. So this is the process that we're going to follow. So to convert fractions to a percentage, the first step is you ask yourself, can you make an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100? Because the percent sign means out of 100, right? You're putting the number out of 100. Okay, so if you can express it with a denominator of 100, do this and replace out of 100 with a percent sign and you're done. So we will actually have a look at an example soon. If no, you times the fraction by 100 over 1 and continue to step 2, where we will look at the bow tie method. This just is saying that you look to cancel vertically, you look to cancel diagonally, but you cannot cancel horizontally. Okay, you will know what this means soon. And these are just some little rules that we can use. If both numbers end in 0, you can divide each number by 10. If both numbers end in 0 or 5, you can divide each by 5. If the numbers are even, they're divisible by 2. And sometimes you need to check if the numerator is a factor of the denominator. Okay, so this process on this page is just shown in a little rectangle down here. So let's check out the first question. So convert the following fractions to percentages. 9 out of 10. Okay, so the first thing that I'm looking at is the denominator. So can I write this fraction with a denominator of 100? Because that percent sign means out of 100. Remember that? And we can, because 10 goes into 100. So let's check it out. So 10 times what gives me 100? 10 times 10. And what we do to the denominator, we must also do to the numerator. So 9 times 10 is 90. So then it's asking to express this fraction as a percentage. So I grab that and I know that out of 100 is the same as percent. So I just rewrite it like that. Okay. What about this one? 7 over 25. Okay, looking at the first step, right? You're looking at the denominator. Can I write this fraction as over 100? I can, because 25 is that special number that goes into 100, right? So I ask myself, well, 25 times what gives me 100? 25 times 4. So that's just something to memorize, okay? 25 times 4 is 100, and what you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. So 7 times 4 is 28, and then I look at that, and the question's asking to express it as a percentage, 28%, since out of 100 means percent. So let's keep going. Convert the following fractions to percentages. 1 and 18 over 40. Okay, looks a little bit scary, but that's okay. So when I'm looking at this, 1 is the same as 100%. So I might just write that as a little reminder, and I'm going to ignore the 1 for now, okay? Ignore that 1 out the front, but just remember the 100%. Now, 18 over 40. So I'm going to write that over here. 18 over 40. Now, our first step was to see if we could replace this denominator with 100. So is 40 a factor of 100? It's not, sadly. So we have to continue to this bit. So we're going to times the fraction by 100 over 1. Okay. 100 over 1. All right. Now, looking at step 2, we're using this little bow tie method. So we look to cancel vertically. And I'll show you what that means. So, okay, I'm looking to cancel vertically here and here. Let's just check the first fraction. 18 on 40. Now, do those two numbers have any common factors? Okay, this is where you're checking this orange box. So I can see that the numbers are even. So I know immediately that 2 will go into each. So I'm going to just divide top and bottom by 2 on this fraction. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. So we can cancel and make it simpler before we times it by 100, because it's going to make a much bigger number and be harder to calculate without a calculator. All right, so 40 divided by 2 is 20. So the goal of these questions is to be able to do them without a calculator. That's why we're making all these tricks. Okay, so let's just write down that 100 on 1 that we've ignored for now. 100 on 1. So the bow tie method says look to cancel vertically. Okay, so it's called the bow tie method because look at how this is a bow tie, right? We've got our diagonals and we've got our verticals, but we don't have the horizontals, right? It's not a bow tie. So that's why it's called the bow tie method. I should say that. Okay, so what do we have? So we've looked at vertically. There's nothing to do there. What about diagonally, right? Okay, diagonally, there's nothing there. 9 and 1 don't have common factors. 120 though, they do have common factors, right? They both end in 0. So we can divide both of these by 10. So that's nice. And you can see that 20 actually goes into 100. So if you memorize that, you can quicken the process a little bit. So 20 goes into 100. So I'm going to divide both by 20. And let's check it out. Write down that 9 straight away. 20 divided by 20 is just 1. 100 divided by 20 is 5. Because 5 2s are 10. 5 20s are 100. All right. So see how this is much simpler than what we started with? We're nearly at an answer, okay? So now we just see numerator times numerator. 9 times 5 is 45. Denominator times denominator. 1 times 1 is 1. 45%. If we're timesing something by 100, that's getting it into percent form. No, that might seem a bit weird. Okay, but remember, we had not just 18 over 40, we had 1 and 18 over 40. So let's just ignore this question for now. We'll do this on the next page. So we had 1 and 18 over 40. I'm just going to rewrite that. Is 100% the 1 plus the 18 over 40 simplified to 45%. So 145%. It's quite a lot of work, isn't it? But that's all right. So let's actually check out this 1 on 8th question. Okay, so I've just repasted that question D over onto another page. So fresh start, let's check out how we would convert this fraction to a percentage. So following the process again, the first step is to check if you can express that denominator as out of 100. And you can't, unfortunately, because 8 is not a factor of 100. But that's okay because we know the bow tie method, which we're going to go to soon. So what we've got to do, we have to times this fraction by 100 on 1. I'm just going to rewrite it over here. So I'm going to times it by 100 over 1, right? This step. Now we are going to, because we don't have our calculator, we are going to look to cancel vertically and diagonally using this bow tie method. So the bow tie method says look to cancel vertically. So look to cancel vertically and then look to cancel diagonally. Make that bow tie. So if I look vertically, I can't cancel anything here. There's no common factors. Can't cancel anything here. No common factors. Can't cancel anything there. No common factors. What about here? I can because they're even numbers, right? 108 are even numbers. So we can divide those by 2, each of those numbers, looking at that diagonal. So we can divide that one by 2 and we can divide this one by 2. So let's look at it. 1 on 8 divided by 2 is 4. 100 divided by 2 is 50. And let's, oops, sorry, just checking that my microphone is on. Okay, so then let's see if we can cancel it anymore. Okay, we can, because they're even numbers. So let's just keep dividing by 2. So now it's 4 divided by 2 is 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25. And now that's as far as we can get it, I think, because 2 and 25 do not have common factors. And then we just do how we times fractions is we do numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. 25 times 1 is 25 over 2. And what's 25 divided by 2? You could just do that like that. And we would find 2 into 2 goes once, 2 into 5 goes twice, remainder 1. So how to write that is 12 and a half. It's a bit weird. The remainder goes on the numerator and that's there. So 12 and a half, 12.5%. But we don't want those fractions in there, so I'm going to write it 12.5%. All right. I think that is enough. So I'm going to do in part 2, we're going to look at converting a percentage to fraction. Okay, because I think that is enough for you to take in for now, that bow tie method. All right, so feel free to go back and watch and let me know if that helped. All right, I will talk to you soon.